All right, let me turn on the light too. Make it a little bit brighter. Can you hear me? We're doing a live. Yo, welcome back to the channel. I want to talk to you about something that I think is important, and I want to make sure that we good. I want to talk to you something about important that we talk about LinkedIn, right? LinkedIn, is LinkedIn dead for lead generation? So if you're tuning into this live, I definitely want to make sure I answer your questions. I definitely want to talk to you about what that looks like for lead generation because if you're a business, if you're responsible for sales, if you're responsible for getting contacts to lead to contracts, it is a big deal. And it's okay if you at one point in time were using LinkedIn and now you're like saying like, what's going on? What's happening? I'm going to tell you LinkedIn is dead in a lot of ways, but it doesn't mean it's not purposeful for what you're working towards. So if this is live, let me hear you, or wait, not hear you. Let me see you. Let me and let me put it. I'm gonna put in the chat here because I definitely want to know um, how can I help you. Let me first say, you are you on LinkedIn? I'm gonna put this in here. I want to know. Y'all let me know. Are you on LinkedIn? First of all, are you on LinkedIn? Let's start there. I want to answer your questions. So again, let me know if you have questions on LinkedIn. Are you on LinkedIn? And let's start with that because I want to have a conversation. For those that come on here, let me know. We'd love for you to like the video. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so. I want to talk to you about LinkedIn because LinkedIn at one point in time was a very powerful organic lead generator for small business owners, founders, to existing I would say folks that are existing folks. What does that mean? No, folks that had careers that were moving forward in the direction of just connecting and networking with others. So when you look at, we're in 2026 right now. If you go back to uh, 2016, 17. And I don't know when the purchase of when LinkedIn was bought by, I think, Microsoft. But in 2020, with the pandemic, the platform changed. So before then, and let's just say LinkedIn was very hard for you to monetize, especially when it comes to getting attention. So if you were trying to get attention, um, that was hard. Okay, but you had to pay for it. I was trying to move this on here, so I want to know. Have another viewer on there. Thanks for joining. I see the viewers on here. I'm asking you the question: are you on LinkedIn? I'd love for you to subscribe. And like, I'm here to answer questions, but I want to talk about LinkedIn because I've been hearing feedback from others that LinkedIn is not what it used to be. And I'm like, yes, it's not. You can have 5,000, 6,000. Hello from S3RID 43 sign one I Iona. Hey, hello. Appreciate you again, y'all. Appreciate the likes, subscribes that y'all come on here. Appreciate you for coming on here. Thank you very much. Hello, I appreciate you. Thanks for coming on here. Thank you for the like I just saw on there. Just just call me SDN or N. What's up, N? Hey, my name's Nathan, so people call me N too. That's what I use for my signature. So LinkedIn has been a great lead generator for companies and businesses. Oh, we're getting some more people in here. That's awesome. Thank you, y'all. Thank you for pushing it out. Thank you for. Oh, I got a under venue. LOL. He's like, oh, okay. What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? Appreciate y'all for those that subscribe and like. I appreciate that. As a content creator, more so a consultant, more so a founder, more so a business owner, I was using LinkedIn to get me into rooms and get into places, go to events and meet new people and get jobs, get businesses, or I should say, get contracts. And LinkedIn for the last couple of months, if not years, has been difficult. Hey, my friend, hope you're well on this fine Friday. Yes, I am doing well. I appreciate that. I am doing well under Renewed. I appreciate a beautiful Friday where I get to share my information and knowledge because when I was starting off, I didn't have this. So I appreciate you joining. I hope you are having a great day as well. And so, the beautiful thing about LinkedIn was I created a lot of relationships. And that allowed me to go into rooms and get into some of these places where I was going to have the opportunity to give my and make, as one person would say, Kent Lewis, he would always say this in our podcast years ago. He would say, "This is where you turn contacts to contracts." I'm like, "Oh, that's interesting. A little bit more transactional," but I was like, "I want the more relational." But it absolutely true. You turn contacts to contracts. LinkedIn is no longer that place, in my opinion, that place where you're able to turn that transactional contacts to contracts, because every single person that I've seen on there, when I connect with someone, when I talk to someone, it's a sale. It is a pitch. It is a sale. I get message after message. And technically speaking, in case you didn't know, you shouldn't connect with someone you don't know. So you might be someone from uh, another country. Per LinkedIn uh, policy, you shouldn't be connecting with anyone that you do not technically know. So that connection should be a connection that you should know. So I would encourage you, if you haven't thought about that, do that. I still do. I still connect with people, but I think about that, whether or not, if it's going to benefit me as one, a business owner, as in, will it help my business? And I think about it for my clients. Could I use this to leverage for help with my clients? And then three, will this, me as an individual, will I be able to connect and relate to them in some way, shape, or form? So, again, if you guys have questions, let me know. If you want to push back, I'd be more than happy to push back with you, because I think this is an interesting. When I say, is LinkedIn dead? Um, I'm gonna kill that right here. Um, I think when I say, is LinkedIn dead? Ooh, I see a comment. Let me just finish this thought. I'm gonna get to that comment. Is LinkedIn dead? I do believe LinkedIn is dead for certain things. I don't think we're going to ever see it get resurrected, because with the new influx of people since 2020, the algorithm has changed, the content has changed, and the people that get on there are different. So, under Vinny said, I'm in the procurement department of a large automotive aftermarket company and constantly get unknown suppliers trying to connect. Yes. Oh my gosh, that was perfect timing. I think we are in this era now that, because of the digital landscape, with the geopolitics, we no longer use the same format. And I also got to say, the great resignation in 2020, with people not only moving from one firm or company to another company, and people are now retiring, and they are no longer, these systems have been broken. And when the new administration came in the last year, these, what we used to know as distribution channels, are now broken. So as you're getting all these influx of calls or messages, people are trying to find new suppliers, new customers through the digital channel. And it could be from either AI, it could be from bots, it could be from lists that people have bought. But the way that we did business pre 2020, and then also pre this administration, especially with the supply chain issue, it has been completely fractured. So here's where LinkedIn is no longer this, I'm going to get to know you on a professional level. Let's network, let's talk, let's get. No, it is now a new commerce channel. So if you're not selling anything, if you're not pitching anything, if you're not have some sort of transaction attached to, where if I don't get you into a calendar, or if I'm not sending you my scheduler, or if I'm not I'm giving you a webinar or some sort, where I can get more people in the door, right? We want to build this funnel. Yeah, LinkedIn is not going to be for you, because here's the next thing I'm going to say, which a lot of folks probably already know, if don't know. Uh, LinkedIn has not gone political. So let's talk about LinkedIn going political. Now you can say, hey, there's politics in business, and yes, there's politics in business, and business is in politics. Absolutely. We can't deny that politics is in business. But when it comes to LinkedIn, you have multiple generations. Here's the issue when we come to this: you have multiple generations in LinkedIn, and you also have industries that don't show up on LinkedIn. So you don't have education in LinkedIn, and I'm just telling you from what I know, from what I've experienced, from folks that I worked with, or we're going to work with. And I'm going to mention, I say LinkedIn, I'm like, that's not really my thing. They are like Instagram, Facebook, maybe TikTok, YouTube, but LinkedIn, no, not for my industry. So these are the industries that are like, I'm not giving LinkedIn no love. That industry is healthcare, education, entertainment, and law enforcement. I found, again, different generations are not going to be on LinkedIn. You can, when I say healthcare, we can talk about from doctors, unless that doctor has said, I'm starting a business and now they're putting themselves out there. But if they are a doctor and they already have their paycheck, what do they need to be on LinkedIn for? Educators too. They're like, I don't need to be on that. Social media, LinkedIn is social media, has now been a form of entertainment. And there's nothing entertaining on LinkedIn. So if you step back, right? If we step back and think about why are we posting on LinkedIn, it is to build your funnel. But if you're not intentional in trying to get the things for, I'm not saying things. Sorry to be a generalist here, but I'm just going to say things because not everyone is in the same category of getting the transaction. Some people are not ready to book appointments yet. Some people are not ready to sell their widgets yet. Some people are not ready because if you're talking about products or service, where exactly are you at in your company to where you can be at the tip of the spear to where you're promoting something and then you can create the sale, that transaction? Typically, more than likely, majority of the folks when I think of when I see on my profile, a lot of the folks are not there to buy or consume. They're just there to observe. LinkedIn is a social media platform that people are happy just to observe and see what's going on. So when I even told my son, which at the time he was 18, I said, son, you need to get yourself on LinkedIn because we were talking about opportunities. And he was like, oh, LinkedIn, I'm not going to do that. Like, okay, let me go on here. Let me check it out. I'm like, you want to work for this company? Look at this person that works for these companies, and I kind of gave him a rundown on things, and he was like, whatever the case, whoppy wop, right? It was kind of funny because he was like, LinkedIn is not my thing. Again, social media is for, is entertainment. LinkedIn is not an entertainment based platform. And so when we were going through filling out his profile, he was just like, I don't really know anyone, right? So here's where the pushback starts coming. You won't know a lot of people on LinkedIn, generationally speaking, or industry specific people, because it's not their jam. People would have a much better feeling, response, even enjoyment if they are on the platforms and pushing out what they want to push out. That is TikTok, that is Instagram. LinkedIn hasn't caught up with some of the features that TikTok or Instagram can do as a visual appealing platform. So again, y'all on here, I appreciate someone like the video. Thank you. If you have questions, please ask them. I think it's important that when we are putting ourselves out there, I used to say in the omni-channel approach, you definitely own your name in these places because this world has 8 billion people, and at some point your name is going to be the same. However, how you show up on those platforms has definitely changed. And I'm going to tell you that, uh, to keep it real, you don't need to show up on every single platform. LinkedIn is probably one of those platforms that you may not need to show up on as you think you may, depending on the generation that you are, right? And then on the flip side, the generation you want to serve, LinkedIn may not be for you. So you may say is LinkedIn is dead because it wasn't working the way you want to, but it's also could be the way you're communicating is dead. The way we communicate on these platforms are so different when you go from one platform to another platform. And now, here's another reason why I asked the question: is LinkedIn dead? And I'm gonna, and I usually write right here, and you can't see it, but this is another reason why I feel the platform is not dead, but it has definitely shifted. Now that we have TikTok in the hands of US people, right? We have now moved TikTok to where it's not the way it used to be. TikTok has used to be the place where small creators can go ahead and get monetized. It's not going to be the same, right? The way they view, again, if you're on LinkedIn and you say, "Here, let me shift this, let me shift this," right? We're having in the United States one hell of a time with people maintaining keeping their jobs. Okay, so you get laid off. What's going to happen? Oh, go on LinkedIn, set up your profile, right? But is LinkedIn for you? Is LinkedIn the best place for you to get found? I don't know. I don't know. Because as I was going to say with TikTok, you could get found by people, but now folks are also at one point in time it was Snapchat. And Snapchat was crushing it, right? Because it was just those short little reels because they got out by was it Vine it was? Was it Vine the ones that had like only 6 seconds? And Snapchat or was it Snapchat that ate them up? Or I can't remember now, it's been so long. But when we say LinkedIn, LinkedIn is not a video-based content driven platform. It is not. It is important that you show up on LinkedIn. HR is going to look at your profile. If you submit a job resume or a job application, you will get looked at in regards to what does their digital footprint look like on the web, because LinkedIn has one of the, if not the highest domain authority when it comes to your name showing up. And if you're not on LinkedIn, it might be a red flag if you're looking for a middle management, blue collar, or even a white collar executive job. If you're not on LinkedIn, that's a red flag, right? Red banner. I see another viewer on there. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. And if you have any questions, make sure you put in the comments. I would love to see them. I'd love to see them. I love to see them because we're not asking the right questions, especially again, generationally speaking. Are there people you want to reach, or is the company you want to work for? Are they on these platforms? Are they on these platforms? Possibly not. You might have a better chance and opportunity if it was for my kids for them to connect with people on YouTube, people on TikTok, not on LinkedIn. Not on LinkedIn. If you like this comment down here, he says, in the procurement department of a large automotive aftermarket company, and getting hit up by all these unknown suppliers because of tariffs, right? People now have to find where to make up that income gap. What's the best place to find people that are professional? LinkedIn. You're not gonna go to Facebook. You could, but that is such a hard, that is not a business-driven platform. You potentially go to Instagram, but that's not a business-driven platform. Potentially, you can go to YouTube, but finding YouTube and you can find a way to get contact information, that's a different way you go about it. Can you do it? Absolutely. LinkedIn is not dead in regards to finding people and companies at the same time, because when you want to import everyone's information and put them in your system to blast out all the things that you want to blast out to, as in like your CRM, newsletters, pitches, offers, webinars, uh, one paper sales things, right? You can do that in a CRM, and LinkedIn does that perfectly. That platform is geared perfectly for those sort of opportunities. Facebook is not, TikTok is not, YouTube is not, Snapchat is not. Why? Because those platforms are they focus and they push, they want to make prioritize, that's the word I was looking for. They prioritize the person. when LinkedIn prioritizes the person in the industry and the company is a big deal just as much as a person. So, is LinkedIn dead? LinkedIn may be dead for those that are looking for something more. And I will just share with you that LinkedIn is still a place where folks hit me up at, but not as much. So for me personally, and I don't see any questions or any comments, but I do appreciate the subscribers that have jumped on and subscribed. So thank you very much. I appreciate the likes. I've got 3 likes. So thank you very much for liking this video. And I appreciate y'all coming on here and adding my Underwood, my N, or excuse me, where does it get Underwood from? Undervenued. And I appreciate you joining. I appreciate you commenting and adding, contributing. I appreciate it a lot. So the last thing I'll say is LinkedIn for me? And I would say LinkedIn is still for me. However, I have reevaluated my stance with LinkedIn. I'm not going to pour into LinkedIn like I used to. I do believe that we are at a crossroad of it's still important to be on there, but how much time do I spend on there is different. If we're gonna be honest about um, time and how much time I have to give to these social media platforms, I'm gonna spend more of my time on YouTube, and that's just because I love helping people create videos. The YouTube coaching has been the best, especially for my fractional CMO work, because videos are the tip of the spear. People can get to know, like, and trust you on a video that is like so much easier than someone looking at your LinkedIn profile. Now, you can do a video on LinkedIn, you can you can repurpose a video to show up on different platforms, and there's the tip of the spear. But I don't think you can get monetized on LinkedIn. That's the only platform I don't think you can even be monetized on. You can be monetized on other platforms, but not LinkedIn. So if I can't be monetized on LinkedIn, why would I be on LinkedIn? We went I started off with MySpace where like I'm just happy to be out there. No, I think I started off with classmates, right? This is okay, now I'm dating myself. But I started off with classmates.com just so I can see my high school folks I went to school with. Then it was like MySpace, then it became Facebook. But where I'm at my 30-year mark for my high school reunion, I'm like, I don't need to see anybody. I got people who I want to see on a daily basis. If I don't am not connected with you, then I don't need to see you. So we've gone from creating these platforms just so you can connect with people you haven't seen before to now you get to connect with people you want to connect with and build relationships with to now people are now building their lifestyle around this. And quick story, which makes so much sense to me now. Like with my young kids, my 14-year-old told me, she was like, I like going to our mall better than the mall that had more people. I'm like, why? That's like the mall. For me, that is the mall. And here's LinkedIn. She was like, the mall that we go to has less people. I can talk to people. I feel comfortable. I don't need a lot of people. And I think that's funny because when you get outside of your comfort zone, you're not going to show up. With LinkedIn, is I think it's really hard to show up because you are not able to truly be yourself, and you find because you're not able to find your people, and until you find your people on LinkedIn, it's like, well, what are you going to talk about when that's not your thing? Now, on the other hand, she shows up for YouTube and she likes all different things because there's people that are there that she can connect with. And even not even on a like personal level, individual level, there's interests that are to her fancy, to her interest, to her appeal, to her liking. And also it's not just her learning things, it's entertainment. Is LinkedIn entertainment? No, it's not. And I think that's the mistake that LinkedIn is making. Could be the same mistake BlackBerry had with not putting uh, a social store, or not was it, the apps. BlackBerry didn't want to put apps on their phones. LinkedIn could be doing the same problem by making it just completely stale and not engaging. I'm not saying for folks not to be putting themselves out there, but when it comes to LinkedIn, they need to improve their platform, and they need to improve their platform for all industries. LinkedIn needs to do a better job with ensuring that when you put yourself out there, like what's happening now, their organic traffic is dropping. They changed the algorithm and it sucks. If I'm putting out a post that say I have an event in 2 days, it's not going to get pushed out until like really a week later until it starts building up steam. Rather than pushing it out to people in my area, that makes sense because they're going for the mass appeal rather than getting the people to where it will be mass appeal for the right people. And I think that's the problem when you're using AI, using bots to dictate how the algorithm is creating what gets seen with people rather than understanding the people that are coming on there, even though this political, even though it's is more of a transactional, people are selling, people are connecting. If you're not putting in the right things to get people to engage and also contribute more, you're not going to have a good platform. And I think LinkedIn will just be this HR source rather than having it be a professional. Because right now it's just a place where you can get leads for those that engage. Because I know that people have LinkedIn, but like, oh, I check this like once a month. Wait, you check LinkedIn once a month, or you don't? It doesn't matter what you do on LinkedIn. If that like, I don't understand why LinkedIn's not hearing this. So I wanted to put this on YouTube, which I did a YouTube live. I wanted to ask questions. I think I'm going to do an actual presentation on this where I am right on the right board of LinkedIn because when I tell my own clients, you do need to be on LinkedIn, but how you show up on LinkedIn is not going to be the same way it was a year ago or the same way it was like even 6 months ago. It's changed. It's important that you show up in the way you want to show up, so that you don't you don't put more energy out there when it's not going to come back. And I'm not saying not to put it out there. And it's not like we're not saying it's a microwave where it's going to be instant gratification. I'm not saying also not to do it because there's a marathon that you're running. I think it's important though we use the energy and stay consistent with the platforms that going to work for us to where we can build up that steam, build that inertia to when we do start picking up speed and gaining that momentum we need to continue to grow, we're on the right platform. So that gives us the feedback we need to keep it going. So, for all those that participated and liked and subscribed, I just want to say thank you. You're the bomb diggly. We'll love to know for those that didn't watch it live and you stay to the very end. Thank you. We'd love to hear what you have to say about LinkedIn. How has LinkedIn impacted the way you look at business, the way it has impacted your own business, your transactions? What do you use it for? I would love to have your information because this is all about us growing in a way that's going to allow us to take care of our livelihood and live the dream that we want. So, with that, y'all, I wish y'all nothing but the best. So, dream big, Godspeed. I'm out.